So, my dears, my bright, shining lights, my empaths, my caring, kind, loving, generous, helping people that were with the narcissist, you thought maybe if you tried a little bit harder, maybe if you stayed a little bit longer, the narcissist might see that you were somebody that cared, you were nurturing, that maybe at some point you could maybe have a flourishing relationship with a narcissist, but that just wasn't going to happen. And the reason that can't happen is because you were triangulated. Maybe you were sextangulated. Now, I don't mean that as, however, we could actually use that term in there because that is one of the things that the narcissist would be after. The other term I was going to say is, how about octangulated? Yes, and that means 8 people. So when I'm saying to excess, the narcissist does everything to excess. Some are going to be more excessive than others, but you might have been available if the narcissist got a flat tire. Maybe you were the one that did the grocery shopping for the narcissist. Maybe you were the one that cooked for the narcissist. Maybe you were the one that did the narcissist's laundry. The narcissist needed another bottle, so you were the one to make the run to the liquor store. Nonetheless, you thought you could help the narcissist get over that hurdle to grow, to evolve, maybe grow as a couple if that potentiality was there. Now, I'm an astrologer, so I've got the map. I know what the person came here to do. I know that that person chose a spiritual incarnation, very spiritual, and actually has some of those qualities to utilize and help other people. That person came for a particular mission to do that. Now, I know that I came for that reason, and I'm also a hypnotherapist. So I thought, just one session, past life regression, and boom, boom, I'm in there and I can help that person to see what those issues are, what that childhood trauma was. When did it happen? Where did it happen? How did it happen? Why is that person still holding on to that? But we're going to go back further than that. We're going to go back to where that person had another lifetime similar to that scripted in, because normally when I see certain aspects, it's not one lifetime that that person has to handle that issue. Sometimes it can take 2, 3, 4, or 5 lifetimes. Just because you set that up doesn't mean that you're going to accomplish it. One of the things that I do in a past life regression is when I have somebody at that in-between state, I'm able to take them right before they incarnate. And we go over the previous life and we talk about, did you accomplish what you came down here to do? The answer is always no. I've never taken one single person there that said, yes, I did everything I could possibly do, and they were happy about their progress in prior incarnations. It hasn't happened for me yet, anyhow. Almost 98% of the time, that person breaks down at that point. I don't care if it's a man and that man isn't used to crying. They get to that point. Every single person says, no, I could have done so much more. I could have helped more people. I was a wealthy man. I was a wealthy woman, and I could have helped a lot of people. I had family members that went through serious hardships, but I was greedy, or, I had a chip on my shoulder. I just was rude to people. I just thought I was better than other people, and I trampled on a lot of people. And they really see who they are, that they are a soul. They're not a body. You are a soul in a body. That is your vehicle for this incarnation, but you are not the body. The narcissist thinks he's the body. They're consumed with the ego. They're in the ego. They're in the matrix. So it's all about what they can get from you, this person, that person. If it isn't you, they're getting that from somebody else. And usually there's multiple people. Now, that person could be married. They could be married. I kid you not. They could be married, have another child with someone, but they're hiding all of this really hard. But eventually they're going to slip up, and they might have slipped up for you. Now, that's just one relationship. If this hasn't happened for you, I'm going to ask you to keep a very open mind that that person may have 2 or 3 others like that, because he needs somebody to do his laundry. Well, that person is really good at doing my laundry. You know what? This narcissist supply over here, well, this one gives really good massages. So I like to go to this one every so often because I can get a great massage. Well, you know, I need grocery shopping, so this one is usually pretty good with that. This one over here, this one is a really good cook. You can get a good meal here. I can, you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and I'm out of there. They've got multiple for multiple uses. You might have the one that's a clout chaser. He sees the next shiny object, checking out what kind of purse, what kind of shoes is that person wearing. Wow, this person is, you know, I can see the jewelry dangling. This person's got money. Okay, there's my target. Let's see if that person is a softie. Let's see if that person is kind. I'm going to come on and see if I can bring a little bit of charm. Eventually, that person is getting older. That person is an aging narcissist. You know, when somebody gets into their 40s, 50s, 60s, or maybe even 70s, I know some of you out there maybe have been married to somebody for 20, 30, 40 years, and then finally you're starting to realize that these behaviors, you're starting to hear a little bit about triangulation, about gaslighting, about projection, certain behaviors that narcissists have, and you're saying, you know, wait a minute, maybe I need to take a closer look here, because I think the person that I'm with is doing some of these things. So yes, you need to start taking a really hard look at that. Watch more narcissistic videos of different coaches. I'll mention one who's great, Richard Grannon. You need to start zooming in and taking a really close look at those people. So even somebody like myself, and I was down for it at one point. I thought, I am that trained person that could take that person to that place and help that person get to the next level. The problem is, you or I don't care what kind of skills you have, if the narcissist is not ready, does not want to change, has no interest in evolving their spirituality, their evolution in this lifetime, there's nothing that you could do, and there's nothing that I could do. So that's going to be the end of this session for today. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Okay, I'll catch up with you soon.